oh my gosh, this house is beautiful. I definitely want to buy it. I don't need to see anything else. That's something that we as agents hear from people a lot of the time. But if you're looking to buy a home, there are a few things that you want to check or pay attention to when you're touring a home for the first or even the second time. Number one, look up. You want to make sure that as you're wandering through the house and you're captivated by the staging or the homeowner's decor style, or maybe the weird pictures of them from their 1970s childhood, look up and see, are there water stains on the ceiling? Are there cracks in the ceiling? Anything that gives you an idea that there has maybe been water intrusion. Could be from the plumbing, could be from the roof, but water is never good inside a house. So always look up to make sure you don't have a problem ready to pop out at you later. Number two, as you're walking up to the house, take a look up at the roof. You may see something, you may not see something, but if you ask the age of the roof, when was it installed, what type of roof is it, get as much information as you can, because replacing a roof is pretty expensive, more so if you have something like cedar shake shingles or slate, that sort of thing. So you want to make sure that the roof is of a reasonable age, that it's been well maintained, that if there have been issues with it, that they've been repaired, and that you know who did it. Number three, another thing that you want to pay attention to is the age and style of heating and cooling. I showed a house the other day, and when we walked in, there were window units. And my clients realized only then, because it was not obviously a big feature that the listing agent touted, there was no AC in the house. And that may be fine for someone who's chilly all the time, but if you're like me and you get hot everywhere you go, that's probably not what you want in your house. And you probably also don't want to spend $10,000 or $15,000 to put a whole new system. Look at the return. Have they cleaned their filters, changed their filters? If that is real funky and dusty and everything, that may be something to just file away in the back of your mind that you want to make sure you check on when you do an inspection, because that usually indicates they haven't paid a whole lot of attention. Number five, check out the floors. If you go in the bathroom and there's ceramic tile and it's got cracks, that may indicate some sort of issue under your actual foundation, in the crawl space, in the base of the house. Make sure that you don't buy something that has joists that have cracks or holes or termite damage or anything like that. And often you don't have to go under the house to get a feel for that. If you've got a lot of dips and hills in the floor, or you see tile, etc., that has cracked, probably a good indication. Doesn't mean don't buy the house, just may be something you want to get checked out. Number six, check out the gutters. Are there gutters? First off, lots of houses don't have gutters, and some were built with no gutters, and that's just fine as long as the rest of the kind of gutter or water removal system is in good shape. So my house, for example, was built without gutters. It has a really good slope to the roof, and originally it should have had gravel around the edge of the foundation to make sure any water ran off and not back towards the foundation. So that's totally fine, but make sure whatever system is in place to get the water away from your house, that it's actually working and is the way that it's supposed to be. In other words, your gutters don't have trees growing up out of them. That's probably a red flag. Number seven, check the trees around the house. That's another thing that is not really part of the house, but it is really part of the house, because when you're living in the house, if you have 3 dead trees that could potentially fall on your house, you want to make sure they're gone, and that's not cheap, and often the seller is not going to do that for you. So make sure that the trees and everything look like they're in good shape, so that that's not an expense you have to cover later, either just as preventative maintenance or because something fell on your house or your garage. Number 8, check out the electrical system. Doesn't mean that you have to be an electrician. It just means give it a cursory look. Make sure that if you use a lot of things that draw power, like a lot of computers, you're going to have a home office or something like that, make sure there are outlets in the rooms where you need them. You can always add them. It just costs money, right? But so make sure that you've got the outlets that you need. Are they grounded? Are they ungrounded? A lot of older homes, they've switched to a 3-prong plug, but the actual outlet itself is not grounded. Make sure that your panel box is updated, not a fuse box, but a panel with the switches. And make sure that if you are looking at a smaller home, for example, want to build an addition or add something later, maybe you want to add a generator or a new HVAC system, that you've got a little bit of room to grow in that panel box. And usually you can tell because it'll have the empty spaces. Number 9, going back to similar to the water, you want to look at the walls and around doorways and windows. Make sure you don't see any really prominent cracks. Most homes are going to have some general settlement cracks that are no big deal. Usually those will go horizontally on windows or doors. If you've got anything that goes vertically or straight up and down, that's usually more of a concern. Or if it goes stair step like that, that usually is going to be some sort of structural thing that you just want to have looked at. You might want to get a structural engineer or have the inspector weigh in on what could be causing that issue. Finally, and this is probably something I don't necessarily need to tell you, but smell. Smell. If it smells like dogs, that may bother you, not bother you. If you're allergic, maybe more. But I'm not really talking about what the seller cooked the night before. I'm really talking about things like mold, mildew, anything that smells kind of like it shouldn't be there. Because those are going to give you indications if there's moisture in the crawl space, in the HVAC system, things like that. Again, not necessarily a reason to dismiss the house. If you love everything else about it, it's just something to be aware of to make sure you get it checked out and ensure it's not a problem. So if you're thinking about buying a home and you want to get started touring homes, again, my name is Cindy Bennett. I'm a realtor with Maison Real Estate Boutique. I've been an agent working full-time in the Richmond, Virginia area for the last 21 years. I'd love to help you if you're looking in another market. I have some great contacts almost everywhere. I'd love to put you in touch, but give me a call and let's talk about what you're looking for and what the things that you pay the most attention to are.